Hello everybody and welcome back. Today is the last day of the first week of probably the last interval training experiment, as afterwards I will settle with the best interval training type, as I hope to get certain results after the next week where I actually can decide on which interval training method is the best for my goals. Today the weather forecast predicted rain at around 60%. But as usual, if they predict rain and it isn't predicted with 90% of probability, it's like it won't rain that much. The same case was today. Actually, I was too lazy to start earlier my ride, as the rain was predicted for the late afternoon. I decided to start anyway at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And right before starting, it started to rain slightly, so not worth mentioning even, and I looked around and as the clouds seemed quite bright, I started my ride anyway, as I had to do this interval training session today to get consistent results at the next weekend. And after riding just 2 minutes, the rain droplets vanished already, so no big deal. Today I noticed the first time that actually during the warm-up, as you might know, I tend to push harder. But this time I tried to balance it between exhaustion and still warming up, riding the good pace. And the last few times, especially this week, I tend to be 2 to 3 minutes faster than I would be normally, which in my opinion comes from my better stamina, which overall improved. Like longer rides, I feel an extreme improvement in that. I can maintain a higher speed way longer than I did before. And also the slower speeds are no big deal anymore for me. It isn't like that before it was hard for me, but still I had to focus to push myself up the hill, and now it got even easier. Today's interval training session itself was no big deal. It was as usual, only that at the end I had to ride the steep ramp, as I wasn't able to descend that far on the forest road this time. And today I was able to push myself harder than usual, so my legs haven't been that sore, probably due to the active rest days I've done, which I skipped last week, which I felt quite a lot during the training, as I couldn't keep up with the results I've done previously. So also at the very end I was breathing like hell as I could push myself harder. But a very interesting thing was today that I did the downhill twice, as I had some spare time and it felt quite good riding down such a fast speed, and especially the second downhill was extremely fun as I drifted a lot into the berms, as I now tend to extend my legs while pushing out of the berm, which then pushed the tire all the way out of the berm, resulting in a nice roast. The interesting thing was right in between the first and the second downhill, I had obviously to do the uphill again. I had my knee pads on, I opened the very first strap, make it easier, and I tried to go at a steady pace, as I had no rush and I already did my interval trainings. Usually I tend to ride quite fast, as I try to beat my own time. I try to prove to myself that I'm able to ride at such a high speed. But in that case, I've done it already before, so there was no more need to do so. I took the second uphill quite easy. The uphill I had to do was kind of relaxing. I was riding at a normal speed, I would say, and I didn't have to put in that much effort. My breath was quite calm, and the overall feeling was like meditating. To be honest, the most amount of meditating in a row was 6 days in a row. I don't have that much experience with meditating, but this particular uphill section was really relaxing. I will have to see if I get to make a longer ride to test this out, if this feeling persists on longer rides. But I have a very good feeling that actually my stamina is right now that good, and that also longer rides are even easier than before. With that said, thank you for listening, and until the next time.